All right, for this last one, I'm going to make for lesson 4, I'm going to make a different blueprint and a different template, and I'm going to see if we can get a different database schema to be sent up. So we're going to start with the database. I'm going to say I want a single database table based on, let's just go with the Atlanta Braves. So Atlanta Braves bullpen. So they're pitchers for 2025. I want to track the pitchers' names, jersey numbers, and college team they played for. Okay? Just keep it really basic. Build, or let's just say replace. Replace the schema.sql and seeddata.sql with this new database structure. Okay? So we'll just do that, and we'll just see if they can, if it will write to those two files and change out those database structures. So it's going to update it pretty easy. It's going to actually probably go out to the web and grab the bullpen roster, which is kind of nice. And you can see it's updating it. So here it changed it from, actually look, it actually tells you I'm going to drop the table that's out there and I'm going to create the next table. Kind of nice. It's going to keep first name, last name, jersey number, college team, and then add a couple more indexes. It found, for the seed data, it found a whole bunch of cool seed data, and it should update that in just a sec. Found 10 of them. And it's going to give us some good seed data. We'll just wait for just a second. And it says, you want me to allow Claude to fetch this data? We'll say, of course, so we'll just say yes. Go ahead and go ahead and grab that seed data. All right. So it said it was having a little bit of a hard time finding 10 of them or whatever seed data it was looking for. So I think it kind of just made it up, which is perfectly fine. Okay. All right. So we have that, updated the SQL. Now I need to update the setup database. And it looks like it's actually going to try to send this out. So now it's running the updated schema out there on the system. So it looks like it's connecting in and it's going to change it. So if I jump into my MySQL over here and I hit refresh all, we can look at tables, and it actually already changed out the Braves bullpen. Now in here, there's 3 icons. The eye, this little tool, and this guy that says show me like in Excel. So if I click that one, it shows me in Excel kind of format everybody that was in that seed data. So we know it's working. All right, so that is done. Now, I can close this database little part here, and I can come up here to the blueprints. I'm going to say, create a new blueprint called pictures. Okay, so create a new blueprint called pictures based on the examples.py blueprint formatting and the schema.sql in the database folder. Okay. Then create a new template file called pictures.html and base it on the examples.html file. It's going to probably want to do both at the same time. So I'm okay with giving it these are just 2 really small little chunk things to do. So I'm going to let it chunk them together and kind of like do it at the same time. And that should be good. So I'm going to let it do it. It's going to create the blueprint. It's actually going to come up with like a list of things it's going to do first. And it says, oh, let me just start with the blueprint. That's easy. And it's going to come over here and real quick, it found the blueprint and it found the template. So it's going to do the blueprint first. And they kind of go hand in hand because the blueprint is the Python code that controls the HTML file of how things look. So it's going to do it. And the reason why we want to use the examples is because that's where the modals are and the add, edit, delete, all that functionalities I already pre-built into those. So we don't want it to just like let it go do its thing because it's going to start adding other pages and not following kind of the structure that we want for this site. So now it's doing very similar with the pictures.html. It's going to create that also. Okay, so it's built that, and that should be it. But it will probably want to update the base file also here where the navigation is. All right, so it does not look like it updated the navigation. So let's just tell it, go ahead and update the navigation, register the blueprints, and remove the example blueprint and template. Okay. Well, let's be very specific about that. Example template. All right. So it told it a whole bunch of stuff right there. Basically, I want to delete this example, update the base with the navigation, and inside the inet file here, register those new blueprints. Okay. So it's going to update the navigation, register the blueprints, and remove the old files. Okay. And this actually should happen pretty fast because they're like little tiny things. So the first thing it does is remove the old blueprints and adds the new blueprints, just 2 lines of code. And that happens in this inet file right here, which is why we got this M. Okay. Then it's going to go to base and it's going to edit the base, which is actually pretty easy. So it's going to go in and it's going to say, let me change the base file. So it just takes out this one and adds in this one. So it just removes this red one and brings in this green one. Okay. It changes from examples to Brave's blueprint. And then it's going to delete the 2 files, which it has to actually ask permission for. So I'm going to say, yeah, delete the 2 files. And the first method kind of failed using this old method. So it's going to just do it the other way. So it removed both of them. And at that point, it did everything I said. So all I have left to do at this point is send this up to GitHub. Okay. So actually, let's do the test real quick and see where we're at on the test. So I'm going to come over here, grab the test. I'm going to hit refresh. And it says it's not found because it says the route is for example, right? So if I get rid of that route and just go back to the main route, it says, oh, we've got an error. And the error is it's doing this. So what you can do is hit refresh. And it doesn't like that. So I'm going to just copy and paste that right into here. And it should check it and say, let me just double check. I think we've got an error somewhere. And let me search. It's looking for it. It does a very fast search. And it found it in one of the files. It found it in the template file. And it's going to fix it. So if you reference that file anywhere, so this is referenced on that main page in one of the cards. If you've referenced it anywhere, it's going to throw an error if it no longer exists. Okay. So you got to make sure if you just get an error, that's the troubleshooting part. No big deal. Put the error message right here into the Claude and it will find where the error is and it'll fix it pretty quick. All right. So it looks like that's done. I'm going to come over here and hit refresh. And now I have it working. Here's the Braves bullpen and it has everybody in here. And let's say I don't like Pierce Johnson. I can hit delete and no more Pierce Johnson. And I can add a new pitcher. Okay. And that we know that works. And for the demo, this is pretty much it. Now for duplicate, I'm going to want a lot more. I'm going to want like all of this changed out. I'm going to want it to be the Braves colors. I'm going to want up here to be changed out. Maybe other pages added, but I only really want one table to be CRUD, create, read, update, and delete. Okay. I only want one of those, but I want everything else to really look like an actual web page. Okay, the last thing I need to do, I know this video is getting kind of long, is I want to send this up to Heroku. So I just come down here and I say, send all the changes to GitHub. And it's going to ask me permission again because yes, GitHub requires some bash stuff. So it's going to say, okay, hold on, let me check. And it looks like it's about ready to go. Staging all the commits. finding a lot. There's a lot of changes that we made to it here. We got new stuff. We've got stuff that's kind of like just changed. And it is just about done. It's making some cool descriptives. And do we want to proceed? Yep, we want to send it up. So the majority of the time is just waiting for Claude to do the right step, the next step, stuff like that. And we'll just go ahead and say, yep, send it up, finish the whole process, and it's going to go ahead and push all the changes up to master. And we can go and check our Heroku here. And if we look at activity, it is in the process of building right now. So we can look at the build process and see that it's coming along rather nicely. And since we built it earlier, it's going to go faster this time. So since we built it earlier, all these were already pre-done. They were already satisfied, so it was kind of like easy. And we can just see it's almost done. Go back over here to Kurt. Yep, everything's done here. And build is finished, so I'm going to click Open App. And I'm just double checking that it works. I come over here, add the picture, edit, and notice I have only 9. I'm going to delete number 10. And 10 is no longer there. Okay, so that is all you have to do for demo number